sneak peek of this year's yearbook cover.
And Coach Poe answers some questions about the football postseason.
And to get you in the Christmas spirit, we have some holiday movies for you.
All of this and more coming up on NHSTV Live.
Just announced yesterday, Governor Abbott is requiring restaurant capacity in North Texas to be reduced from 75% back to 50%. The order went into effect on Thursday after the North Texas region reported its 7th straight day with COVID-19 patients making up at least 15% of the hospital's total capacity. Non-essential businesses like gyms and retail stores in the area must also abide by this order.
It's easy to be negative with all the things going on around in the world right now, but Miss Leroy has a different approach on how you can put some sprinkles of positivity into your day.
Every year people need positive messages, but this year more than ever. And so if you are having a rough day or just need a positive message, feel free to come to the library and grab any of these little notes off of our Merry Mail board. You take it as a positive message, and then we will refill it every day with new messages for you guys to grab.
In more school news, Blake is here to give all of the information needed for this weekend's sports. Blake?
Our next and last in-season game happens tomorrow at noon, where our Texans play the 3-4 Arlington Yellow Jackets. To attend the game, all tickets will have to be bought before the games start at noon. I sat down and asked Coach Poe about how the Texan postseason will look. Many students believe the Arlington Heights game decides playoff, but that's not the case.
We've already established our seed, which is the 3rd seed, into the playoffs. So this game really doesn't have any playoff implications.
Coach Poe also explained our division, which has changed from previous years.
Before the season, Northwest is what's in Division 1. And so when we make the playoffs, we are going to be in Division 1.
It's still undecided, but there's only 2 teams we will play in our first playoff game.
We will play the winner between Red Oak and Burleson Centennial.
Coach Poe predicts Red Oak wins, but either way, there's only 2 locations we might play at.
If it's Red Oak, it will be next Friday at Red Oak at 7 o'clock, or if it's Burleson Centennial, it will be at Burleson next Friday at 7 o'clock. So either way, it's Friday, 7 o'clock next week.
Moving on to the court, our girls basketball team plays tonight at 7:30 against the Sanger Indians in a non-district home game. Many Texas colleges play on Saturday, and we will have the results on Monday. That's all for sports. Are you excited for playoffs, Kaylee?
Yeah, Blake, I am excited. I'm also really excited to see the dad kicks this Saturday. Moving on, you've asked the questions and she answered. Miss Jackson was in studio to tell us all we need to know for the rest of this semester. Time for Jackson Interaction.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Jackson Interaction, where you guys send us in questions and I get to ask Miss Jackson. So to just kick us off, being a senior, do you have any idea about maybe a traditional graduation, prom, stuff like that?
We actually are already talking about those things at the district level. The interesting thing about it, and with this whole COVID situation, is it's very difficult to predict the future. You know, when are vaccines going to be in? Who's going to get to those? Who's going to have access to that? And how quickly are we going to be past all of this? But I do know that as high school principals, we've had the opportunity to meet and discuss. Of course, the goal is to preserve everything as normally as possible. What we have to look at is, one, what is our situation in terms of requirements for social distancing and that kind of thing as we go into the spring? And then 2, at what point do we have to make decisions regarding contracts? For example, prom location. Do we have to make a decision on a contract? And if we do, if we have to tell them, okay, we're going to cancel the contract, then can we relocate it to campus or something like that? And so all of those considerations are kind of happening with respect to graduation. What location would it be? How much would we have to distance people? That kind of thing. We don't know those answers yet, but the big goal for us as high school principals is to preserve things so that they can be as normal as possible for all of our seniors.
So, and then kind of switching gears, what about Java City? I noticed that it's also closed. Do you know why or when it will be open?
That's the biggest news on our campus right now is
Yeah,
Java
it
City.
really
So
is.
to all of the ladies that work in Java City, man, Java City is loved at NHS. So what the deal is Aramark, who is our provider of food services for the whole district, Aramark had to make some decisions regarding staffing. One of our neighboring campuses actually they were shorthanded on cafeteria staff, and so they couldn't serve lunches to their students, and so they had to borrow some staff out of Java City to try to help level off the staff at some other campuses. There were some illnesses and some other things that factored in, and of course they're hiring people as quickly as they can. They're getting people back in to each of the campuses as quickly as they can. But the reason Java City was shut down was to help use those employees to help serve lunches actually at other campuses.
Texans, be sure to tweet us at NHSTV some questions that you have for Ms. Jackson, and we will be sure to get those answered on the next week's edition of Jackson Interaction. Thank you so much. Back to you, anchors.
The holiday season brings holiday movies. Starting with Netflix movies, a new movie that just came out is Jingle Jangle. They got a 92% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Next is The Night Before Christmas with a rating of 70% on Rotten Tomatoes.
We'll give aid to those who seek it.
Assignment could
A
jumpstart
Christmas
your
Prince
career.
got 73% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm
And Every Prince Needs a Princess, so you should watch The Princess Switch with a rating of 75% Rotten Tomatoes.
Who are you?
It's not the original, but The Grinch is also on Netflix.
Oh, hello. Happy holidays.
Lastly on Netflix, we have Claws that got a great rating of 94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
There's no need for you to come with me, really. Tonight, then.
On the Hulu movies, there's the classic A Christmas Story. Personally, one of my favorites, Elf.
What he needs is to be nurtured. Bring him home.
And also on Hulu is It's a Wonderful Life. With the people who have Apple TV, you get another classic, A Charlie Brown Christmas.
Charlie Brown is a blockhead, but he did get a nice tree.
Lastly, movies featured on Disney Plus is A Christmas Carol and Home Alone.
Home Alone.
So my favorite Christmas movie is personally the Jim Carrey version of The Grinch. I don't like the new cartoon version. I don't like it.
I don't like the Grinch at all. I don't like it. It's weird.
Why?
The Grinch is mean to his dog. In every movie I've seen, he's mean to his dog.
Okay. Well, my favorite part is when he's like, "That's it, I'm not going." That's my favorite part. I really
Yeah,
like that.
that's the good part.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
Okay. Well, have a great Friday, Texans. This has been NHSTV Live.